Hey, what's going on? And welcome back to Everyman Driver alongside the very stylish Alex DeFries. I'm Dave Erickson, and this week we're reviewing the 2013 Honda Accord Touring V6, which could very well be the most perfectly designed and engineered sedan ever made.
It's not. It could be. It's not.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why. But before we get to all of that, we're going to tell you about engine and performance, the all-new interior, back seat room, trunk space, features, the works.
And remember to hit that subscribe button so you can receive our updates on the new video uploads. In the meantime, Everyman Driver starts now.
The engine in the 2013 Accord V6 is a four-cylinder turbo. No, obviously, it is a V6. This has Honda's Earth Dreams technology. It's a little bit like Mazda's Sky Active technology, sort of a buzzword. In this case, it means an updated VTEC system with cylinder deactivation. This also has direct injection. And Dave, Honda claims this means 10% better fuel efficiency and 5% higher output.
Not too bad for a V6. It's estimated at 21 miles per gallon in the city and up to 35 on the highway. So for mixed driving, about 25 miles per gallon for the V6. Now, if you went back to the four-cylinder, it's more like 29 miles per gallon in mixed driving. So I think it's almost worth it because you have more power, almost 90 more horsepower, and gas mileage doesn't suffer too much with 25 and mixed.
Yeah, and considering that this is a 278 horsepower engine and it's quick, those fuel economy numbers are pretty darn impressive.
Here are just a few of the technology features on the new Accord. All models feature standard Econ button and Eco Assist. And all new Smart Entry and Push Button Start are included on the Accord EX, EXL, and Touring models. Also included on the Accord ELX and Touring models, lane departure warning, which alerts the driver when a lane drift is detected without a turn signal in use. Also debuting on the 2013 Accord, which is my favorite, is the exclusive available Honda Lane Watch blind spot display, which uses a camera system mounted on the passenger mirror for an enhanced view of the passenger side roadway. As you can tell, we've stripped off our jackets and now we're showing our muscles underneath our t-shirts. Put those away. You don't have a license for those. Let's talk about the ride and handling now from the driver's point of view.
Well, this is one of the few areas, Dave, where the Accord falls short. The first thing that everybody notices when they get in is this center stack, which, as you said, essentially has 4 layers of information, which is just too much. You've got essentially your choices for what sort of a source you want. You've then got your heating and air conditioning controls, followed by the audio system controls, and finally your navigation screen on top. And it's too much. There's no reason that they couldn't have incorporated the audio system into the navigation screen or made it more of a tactile feel. It's like Honda was trying too hard here.
Yes, too many screens.
Yeah.
Maybe make 2, one top, one bottom. Make one just for all the heated seats, the audio information, and then have one for the navigation screen. Yeah, just too many. Plus, you have all the options on the steering wheel as well.
Yeah, and the steering wheel I would normally say is a little too cluttered, but because everything is touchscreen, this is really the only spot where the driver can have tactile buttons for controlling a lot of this stuff, so I really don't mind it, and it's laid out pretty well. That being said, though, a lot of the interior is really nice. Seats are nice. This kind of all black with a little bit of the gray that we've got looks nice. The instrument panel looks good. I've said before that the Accord, I felt like it's a little techy for an Accord. Might be a little more at home in a Civic, but the little circular screen in the middle looks really nice. So the interior in the Accord Sport, I actually like better than this. I just wish that it had navigation.
Can you feel the amount of power behind the wheel though? I mean, there's a huge difference, at least from my point of view, driving this around of the get up and go, but also the authority you feel behind the wheel.
No question. There's a lot more power than you're getting with the 4-cylinder, and you know, almost 280 horsepower. So you feel it. This thing, you know, will get up to freeway cruising speed without you really even trying. It will just do it. It's very smooth, very refined. The steering is really good. You can tell that Honda has been making this car for, you know, seemingly decades. Really refined, and just everything works exactly as it should. And although this instrument panel is too cluttered, it works really well. Processor speeds are good. You know, it's laid out, you know, reasonably smartly for how cluttered it is. So there is a lot of refinement in this cabin. Sunroof is great. And like you said, that engine in this is just rock solid.
I don't notice a lot of road noise. We do have the sunroof open right now. I do feel we're on a really rough road actually,
Yeah.
so it's kind of bumping right now. But I think this is an amazing car. I mean, they really know how to make a sedan. They've been doing it for a long time. This to me is near perfect, except for the center stack right here. I think everything else is great. I mean,
The steering is good. The whole vehicle for me is a little soft, but I'm not really the target market for this. I mean, I think they nailed it for, you know, 80% of the drivers out there. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more of a driver's car, you know, you're gonna wanna look to something, you know, perhaps more expensive, more German, a little sportier with some heavier steering, a little better throttle response. And this does have a sport mode, which if you really wanna get around in a hurry is good, but actually for everyday driving, the way that they set the transmission up, it actually feels better just in regular drive, so keep that in mind.
The Accord for 2013 has been completely redesigned. In fact, it's a smaller vehicle overall, at least on the outside. The overall length of the vehicle is 3 inches shorter, while the wheelbase is also an inch shorter. But it's on the inside, as Alex will show, is where we find a lot more spaciousness. Alex, if you will.
Thank you, sir. So there is an inch more legroom than in the previous generation Accord, and also more shoulder room, and it really shows. I'm 6'2", have the seat in the same spot as where I was driving, and I have got more than enough legroom. The Passat, which we tested previously, was also excellent in legroom, maybe has a titch more, but I have more than enough, so gotta give this an A+. Let's see if there's as much room in the trunk.
Alex, the engineers at Honda have made a roomier trunk as well, with a flatter load floor for even greater utility. Let's take a closer look inside. You can see how much more room is in here. It's extremely deep. In fact, the engineers have increased it by a cubic foot. And the back seats do come down if you pull this lever right here, so even more space than what you initially see on the outside. So Alex, the MSRP on the 2013 Honda Accord Touring V6 is about $33,430. But surprisingly, you would still prefer the Sport with the smaller engine over this one.
I would, and the reason why is that the Sport is about $9,000 less. You're still getting a great looking body, good driving characteristics. The only thing that I really want that this car has is the V6, and to me that's not worth $9 grand. This is a wonderful car, don't get me wrong. It's just a little too complex. The 2 screens with the 4-layered center console just gets a little much, but overall this thing is really good.
I do like the additional horsepower, almost 90 more horses under the hood of this one. But as I said before, you know, I thought this would be the perfect sedan, the best ever made, but that was a little bit overzealous. I think that center stack with those 4 different tiers of information and options to look at, just too much. If you can change that or maybe make it 3 lines of 3 displays, that might be better. But other than that, this is a great car.
Since we have Honda's ear, they always listening to what we're saying. Make the Sport interior with navigation with the V6, and you would have almost the perfect car.
I agree. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this V6?
I'm going to give it a strong 8 out of 10. That center stack, I think, takes away a point, and the fact that you can get a Sport or some of the lower trim models for so much less money, I've got to give it an 8 out of 10, but still a really good car.
I'm giving it a 9, and the only reason I'm taking 1 point away just because of that center stack area. That's what I'm going to go for.
But folks, we love it.
We do love it. And thank you for being a loyal subscriber to Everyman Driver. We will continue to make more videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.